Women in Germany will be able to enjoy cheaper rail travel on Monday. They will be given a 21% reduction in fares as part of Germany's Equal Pay Day events. Equal Pay Day is dedicated to raising awareness of the gender pay gap. It symbolizes the number of additional days a woman must work in a year to earn what men earn. The exact day differs in each country, depending on pay disparity. It is enthusiastically celebrated in Germany, where women are paid 21% less compared to men in terms of average gross hourly earnings. Berlin's public transport company is reducing the cost of its day travel ticket by 21%, charging €5.50 instead of the usual €7. Berlin's metro system was wholeheartedly backing its Equal Pay Day initiative. It is advertising it with an online ad that vows to actually close the gender pay gap. It says, "Gender-specific wage gap. Sounds stupid. Is stupid. We'll close it." Critics of the cheaper day pass say it won't necessarily help women, as most workers in the city buy monthly travel passes.
When you think about inventions that have radically changed human existence, what comes to mind? Probably the wheel, the printing press, maybe the refrigerator, and definitely personal computers. Then there are those more mundane things that we rarely think about, but without which we'd be much worse off. Like eyeglasses, for example. Imagine a world without glasses. Many of us would walk around bumping into things and driving our cars up onto the sidewalk. So who invented glasses, and how were they first made? The truth is that nobody knows who invented eyeglasses. At some point in Italy between 1268 and 1289, someone came up with the idea, but the actual inventor remains anonymous. What we do know is that the earliest lenses were made from quartz and were usually set into bone, metal, or leather. As soon as early opticians figured out how to make glass without bubbles and other obstructions, they started making lenses out of glass. Although glasses spread quickly throughout Europe and Asia, there was one major problem: keeping them on the wearer's face. Early glasses acted a bit like scissors, pinched onto the bridge of the nose. Ouch! It took nearly 400 years before opticians figured out that rigid side pieces resting on top of the ears might do the trick.
It's pretty much universally true. Rents are going up all around the country, but it's even more severe in migration destinations like the Sun Belt of the country, Austin, Phoenix, Florida. A lot of people are moving there and there's just more demand for rents.
Daryl Fairweather is the chief economist at Redfin, a nationwide real estate brokerage firm that pulls together real-time statistics on both the sales and rental markets. For example, their numbers show that rents increased 31% in Jacksonville last year, 40% in Austin, Texas.
What's causing this?
We are not building enough housing for everybody who needs a place to live. We built fewer homes in the 2010s than in any decade going back to the 1960s. And at the same time, millennials are the biggest generation and they're entering into home buying age. Millennials aren't living in their parents' basement anymore or shacking up with roommates. They want a place of their own. And we didn't build any housing for them in the last decade because we are still so traumatized by the last housing crisis. We didn't put any investment into housing.
In the economic crisis of 2008 and 9, construction of new housing came to a grinding halt. But even when the economy recovered, home construction didn't.
Neoliberalism. The idea was built on the classical liberalism of the 18th century and a defense of individual liberty, protecting private property and the freedom of markets from external interference, taxes, regulations, levies, as much as possible. Neoliberalism argued that the market wasn't just an absence of interference, it could produce a philosophy or a way of thinking all of its own. That meant looking at the world and at transactions in daily life through the eyes of the market. You can glimpse this, for instance, when I say, I'm in the market for a beer, showing that we've internalized the idea of a market for other values. Nowadays, you probably hear the word neoliberalism used more as a term of abuse, hurled by opponents at economic globalizers, nasty bankers, or governments limiting spending on public works or welfare. The word neo or new has morphed into a way of signalling, I don't like this one bit. It's the nearest thing economic terminology has to a rotten tomato. But neoliberalism isn't just a dirty word, it's an entire mindset of approaches to the way state and market interact with our aspirations, emphasizing privatization over state control as the best way to deliver public services.
I was reading this mystery novel last night, and in it this guy goes missing, and then, lo and behold, a week later they find his body floating in a nearby lake. I don't get it. I have a hard enough time staying afloat for 10 minutes, and I'm alive. It's a mystery how corpses do it.
Well, let's see if we can figure this mystery out. The first clue is that the density of the human body is similar to the density of water. And what keeps us floating, other than the dog paddle, is the air in our lungs.
Okay, so you'd think a corpse would sink as the air in its lungs is replaced by water.
Well, they do, at least initially. But when any organism dies, it goes through putrefaction, the series of chemical, physical, and biological changes that end up returning the body to the food chain. That's your second clue.
I still don't get it.
Okay, so here's your third clue. When a body dies, the bacteria that normally live in the digestive system continue to feed on the proteins and sugar in the body's soft tissues, and to excrete gases, including carbon dioxide, ammonia, hydrogen, and methane.
I give up. What does that have to do with floating?
Well, these gases accumulate in the body's cavities and, if it's submerged in water, eventually cause it to start rising.
Gross. So why do villains always drown their victims?
Well, decomposition happens more slowly in water, and even more slowly in cold water.
So the mystery's solved.
Took you long enough.
If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more PTE-related content. Don't forget to leave a comment below letting me know what you think, or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. I will meet you soon at our next video.